Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between InControl and GoOdy here on Heartbreak Ridge. Left side of the map we have the German Protoss player, he's purple, it is GoOdy. And on the right side of the map we have the white Zerg player InControl, he's the American Zerg player. This is part of an InControl replay pack. It doesn't win every single game because there are like, I don't know, 100 games in there, so if you won every single one, then it wouldn't be a very good replay pack. A very good replay pack, in my opinion. All right, so ZVP here. I'm pretty sure that you've heard of GoOdy if you're a Brood War fan. He's German, as I've said before. He plays Protoss, but sometimes plays Terran. And he's an excellent matchup here for InControl, the American Zerg player who passed away back in 2019. He was a commentator. He had his own podcast talking about StarCraft called The Pylon Show. If you haven't heard of it, then I'm not entirely sure. Well, it's StarCraft 2 focused mostly, but sometimes they would have a Brood War episode. Anyway, Overpool here. Nope, hang on a second. That is actually a 9 pool. Yeah, holy smokes, that's actually a 9 pool. I've been seeing Overpool so much recently, I just assumed that's what it was. Nope. Definitely going for the 9 pool here with the Extractor. This is an aggressive Zerg play on a 2-player map against a Protoss who is going to probe scout you. I don't know what the idea is here exactly from InControl. The probe's going to come in and see that the pool is done and see that the Extractor is done and see that there's not an expansion, let alone one that, I mean, there's not even one that's like just getting started. Nope, there's no expansion. So at this point, maybe you hold off. Oh, he went Gateway first. He didn't go for it at all. Interesting. All right, so he should be able to get a Zealot out to hold the wall here if he's going to wall, although having cannons would be pretty useful. But, man, there are 6 Lings on the way. And, I mean, I don't know what else to do with all this gas except get speed as soon as he can, which is right the heck now. Production tab says speed. All right, man, so this is going to be a Ling Paladin. This is not, I'm going to make 6 Lings and kind of poke around a little bit. This probe is here to try to keep these Lings at home instead of going across the map. Because, again, this is wide open. The Lings do not take the bait. They're like, we don't care. We're going one base here. What are you going to do about it? Forge coming up inside the main base here. Okay, so cannons will get built. Can you wall is the question. This is a really weird place to wall off. You can throw a cannon behind this area, and then, I mean, some of the Lings are getting in. At this stage, there's really nothing stopping that. 2 additional Lings do chase away the probe from the natural base, so InControl can toss down his natural at this stage of the game. Because you do want 2 bases versus a 1-basing Protoss if you can. Zealots don't really want to engage here, but, you know, they're trying to kill these Lings before they run by, but nope. 4 of them make it inside. I'm surprised 2 of them died there, to be honest. I thought for sure we would lose more than that, but, yeah, man, these Lings are going to be annoying, if nothing else. Cannon coming up in the mineral line is a genius idea out of GoOdy. And the Lings are going to go in and try to take down this pylon, try to get after this cannon before it finishes and kill it. Man, Ling damage against cannons is insane. They get it, but they lose everybody but one Zergling that does have speed. So this is now officially a scouting Zergling. They really can't hope to get many kills here, to be honest with you. Might be able to pick off. Okay, one of these probes is really injured. Maybe you can focus that one down and get it. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be a lot of Lings. This is a bunch of Lings cruising across the map right now. No more in production. He's going to try to do a bit of a run by here. He's trying to set up in a position where GoOdy doesn't know exactly how many Lings are parked outside of his front door. This is a guessing game at this stage. GoOdy does not know how many Lings are present, but he's acting as though there are about, 20 coming in to wreck his face. And that is probably the smart way to do it, to be honest. You don't want to under-prepare and then look bad and lose. So he's doing the smart thing. He's got his Zealots out. He's continuing, to mine back home. He's got that cannon replaced. He's had his natural base. The natural nexus is going to get started here. The Zealots thought about moving out. Then they're like, Zerglings. 3rd base on the way from InControl here, too. So his economy is really down right now. 17 to 11 drones, but he should be able to drone up and kind of catch up to where the Protoss player is, especially considering Protoss just now started his natural base at 4.5 minutes. So Zerglings at this stage where they have to go on a complete run-by, taking cannon shots the whole way. Pew, 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 pew. Don't see it working. Don't see it working. Lair coming in because he knows there's going to be a Stargate eventually here. Although, man, he is really waiting on that Cyber Core. Like, a lot. GoOdy might be... he just doesn't know. He's preparing right? If he knew this was a lair, I think he would definitely want to go for a Cyber Core rather than toss up these 2 cannons. He's checking to make sure there aren't any drones mining through this back door, which is a really smart thing to do. Surprised he didn't check that earlier, to be honest, because that's a danger. That is a dangerous thing. InControl could have definitely sent some drones over to take that thing down and then send the Lings around this way and down and around, and probably could have avoided taking any hits at all with that cannon placement. So, third base done. So this is what I'm talking about. It's 18 to 21 drones now. Obviously, InControl's done a great job continuing to drone up here. He's only got the 1 gas, so we might take a Spire, but I don't see any attempt for Mutalisks coming in here. Really just needs to drone up. This is essentially him going for Scourge because he doesn't know what the Protoss player is doing, and he expects Corsairs. So, smart play from both players here. Just nobody being too risky, I don't think. Lings go for that run by, taking cannon shots all the livelong day, though. 4 of them make it in. 2 of them in varying states of injury to where 1 cannon shot will kill them. They're not taking that cannon down at all. I don't know. I guess, again, for scouting, sure. At this point, he knows there's not a Stargate. So I think maybe he could even cancel that Spire. But here come the Zealots that GoOdy was forced to make. Might as well put them on the offensive. So Lings are in a tough spot here, but additional ones come on in. We've got 4 Lings in addition to like the 6 or 8 here now, and I'm not sure it's going to be enough. This is a whole number of Zealots right now. We're looking at 6 of them. They're not getting surrounded. Only one of their Zealot buddies died there. They're going after drones. They're trying to take down InControl's drone count. They do get it under 20 with that attack, and they're trying to take the natural down. InControl, he knew how many Zealots were out, and he just didn't prepare enough. No Sunkens whatsoever. He's going to try to save. He's just using his drones as bait here. Zealot HP not looking great for most of them here. That left guy with 5 kills does finally get surrounded and murdered. But that was pretty good. InControl's down to 18 drones. He was close. We saw it. He was close. Now it's 30 to 18 workers. 2 basing Protoss. Finally getting Stargate up at 7.5 minutes. What a weird game this is. I like it, though. Action in the early stages of the match. Not something we see all the time in these longer macro-style games, that's for sure. Oh, and for those of you watching, this was posted on Patreon.com. When was this? The week of, like, April the 20th. So if you're watching it then, thank you for being a supporter of me for at least $1 a month on Patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. If you are watching this, you know, in the month of May, which hopefully is better than the month of March and April, which I think it will be, then yeah, you could have seen this a whole month earlier. Ta-da! Patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. Alright, so he does have some mutas out here on 1 gas. Like, he's getting a lot more mutas out than I thought he could. Well, I don't know how many mutas this is. It's like 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 6 mutas. Yeah, alright, fine. 6 mutas out on 1 base gas. Reasonable. Definitely reasonable. But he went double Stargate. Double Stargate here into those Corsairs. Oh, I think InControl's in trouble. I really do. He knows about the 1 Stargate. He does not know about 2nd Stargate. I don't think he does. So Scourger here is going to be useful. Corsair getting any shots off on those stacked up mutas would be amazing. Look at that stack. No, the Mutalisks, though. We've seen InControl do this against Corsairs before. He sometimes does not take them as seriously as he needs to. That was rough stuff, man. There's only 4 Mutalisks left of the 6 that were alive. Pretty sure he had 6 in there. Maybe this guy is number 6, but... Oh, hang on. So we have 7 now. Maybe I'm miscounting. Regardless, a lot of Mutalisks took some damage there. Double Corsair Zealot is really good against Mutalisk Zergling, as it turns out. I mean, this is... Wow. This is a lot of Lings. This is as many mutas as he can afford on the 1 gas. He's taking the 2nd gas at his natural base. It's just really going to be nothing but Corsairs at this point. And upgrades for his Zealots and extra cannons. And he's really holding right now. This is a big-time commitment out of InControl on effectively 2.5 bases and 21 drones to 49 probes. If InControl can't win here, I think he might just be done. So here's the Corsair Ball. There's 5 of them. Here's the Muta Ball. There are 9 of them and a couple Scourge in the mix here too. But they decide to bail before the Corsairs come back and ruin them. I think he saw the second Stargate and was like, oh, I have invested a lot in the Mutalisks, and I don't think this is going to work out too well. Hydralisk Den coming up. Yeah, and the Hydralisks to deal with the Corsairs is a much, much better option in the long run, as the Zerg music is atmosphering quite intensely in the background here. It does seem like a situation where a Zerg player is in trouble. And this, if I listen closely to the Zerg music, it just takes me back to playing the campaign back when I was a kid. Oh, hang on. Oh, several Scourge go down to Corsair Ball. How many Scourge are left? 2? Oh, the target firing by GoOdy. InControl is in a massive amount of trouble, you guys. He's down 20 workers. He's supply blocked into next week at this point. He can't engage with these Corsairs with his Mutalisks. I don't think he... Maybe... Can he get down here? Maybe there's 3 cannons in the main base. I mean, this supply block is crippling. The Hydras are out, man. But, I mean, it takes more than 1 Hydra to kill 7 Corsairs that are happily flying around, killing your Overlords, as your Overlords desperately try to run when they don't have the speed upgrade. Oh my gosh. InControl is trying to make Overlords, but I think even after these ones pop, he's still going to be supply blocked. Yep. He sure still is. There's still 1 Hydra defending. The Muta's trying to find purchase here, but there are just too many cannons all over the place right now. He's working on Singularity Charge, Observatory coming in as well. He's getting a perfect scout on the Zerg bases, and supply blocking and control. The Mutas are just trying to find damage wherever they can, which is going to be on Zealots that are not protected by these cannons here, but otherwise, these Corsairs are doing more damage than I may have seen in APBZ in the history of the channel. This is ridiculous. The Scourge keep coming out and just getting blasted by the Corsairs. If it's a 1-to-1 ratio Corsair to Scourge, you're not going to have a good time as the Scourge player. And you know what? Is that 1 spore enough to chase you away? It is, obviously. I don't know that I agree with it. Hey, look! Another supply block. Oh, the Zealots have legs. The Zealots have +1 attack. I think this 3rd base is just done. The Zerglings have no upgrades at all. And the supply block is so real. It's not really a supply block right now, but it's bad enough, honestly. The Zealots are trying to hang in there with that +1 attack. These Zealots are going after this 3rd base, and that is a stacked up Overlord group. The supply block is continuous. That 3rd base goes down. It's 112 to 61 supply. InControl is getting handled in this ZVP. Okay, all right. A couple of Corsairs went down to those Scourge. That will help him get back into this thing. But man, we have seen him be in much more control in the ZVPs that we've cast on this channel. I can tell you that much. I'm a little surprised at how well GoOdy is doing here. I mean, GoOdy is an excellent player. He has his own Wikipedia page, and it's pretty extensive. I mean, it's not like he's on par with Bisu or anything, because he's not, obviously, but at the same time, he's an excellent, excellent player, and you underestimate him at your peril. Is what I gotta say. More Corsairs in production here. Just throwing up a million pylons, which indicates that he was a little supply blocked and he never wants to be supply blocked again. If he could have secured a 3rd base during that time, I really would have liked his position, but it seemed like he was paying too much attention out on the other side of the map. Ah, he's actually mining through these minerals, so he can gain access to the 3rd base more easily without exposing his units by coming all the way around the outside here. Around the outside, around the outside. Dun, 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 dun. So the question is, I mean, the Corsairs are the answer. Oh my gosh. Every hit you take here when you're clumped up is just, you gotta run. You gotta get out of there. That is a Scourge Ball, though. Hey, all right. That is a goodbye to all of the Corsairs. That is a good way to get back in this game. The anti-air to secure a 3rd base is now gone. Okay, so there are 2 Corsairs here. Fine. That's maybe honestly enough with how injured these Mutalisks are. They all have sub 50% health after those Corsair attacks. Maybe trying to expand up this way, but a Zergling is keeping an eye on this. Still no upgrades, by the way. I mean, there's an Evolution Chamber, and we are working on missile attack, as well as... Oh, he's going for Overlord drops. Okay, Ventral Sax it is. I like it. We have seen Zerg players win games because they went for drops, and other Zerg players did not. So, I believe here, but the problem is, he's still down 132 to 74 total supply. Third base is coming in now for GoOdy. InControl has not been able to reestablish the third. He thought about it for a second, instantly canceled it as this army came marching into view. How many? There are only 4 Dragoons here. I guess if these mutas were healthier, I don't know, man. That's only 8 Mutalisks. That's rough. That's a rough place to be, especially considering the Dragoons do have that +1 upgrade we mentioned previously. I don't know, man. I really... InControl. He's gonna go after this third base. Shutting this down will help him immensely, and he's gonna shut it down. There's just too much DPS here for GoOdy to save it. Yep, he cancels. He cancels. He loses a couple probes in a pylon and calls it lucky. The question is, can he get these players, or these units, can he stick them in here? Can he trap them in here? We've seen that before, where a Zerg player comes in to dart into this area and then just gets trapped in this choke and can't get out. But guess who has drops? Nope, you're not trapping me. You know what? I think this is maybe taking GoOdy by surprise, at least until that Overlord scouts what's happening. Hey, hang on. Okay, he's responding to this at least. Every Protoss player heaves a big sigh of relief there as he recognizes what's happening. The Lurkers on the high ground here going after these probes. The Zealots are trying to get through this Hydralisk wall over here. Where's the detection? I know you have detection. It doesn't matter if you have Storm, I guess. So double Storm, that is a really clumped up Lurker ball, and all the Lurkers die, including all of the Hydralisks. Okay, InControl is also supply blocked as the Corsairs wiped out his Overlords again as he was using them for transport. Third base does happen in the top left-hand corner for GoOdy. Third base, yes, going to pop here for InControl again, but a 3-basing Protoss versus a 3-basing Zerg is in a wonderfully excellent position. It's... I mean, okay, lots of done a dead Scourge there. The Corsairs need to come help with these Mutalisks. The Zealots and the Dragoons can handle the rest of these units, I think. Nice not clumping on these Mutas. Still going to lose a couple of them there, though. And the Hydra's coming into target fire on those Corsairs. Zealots actually now coming around the backside, taking most of their attention. Then a Storm says, hey there. Leftover Hydras, why aren't you dead? Zealots at the third base. InControl's like, can I please? For the love of all that is Zerg today, can I just have a third base? And GoOdy says, no. You are not allowed a third base. Thank you for asking. Archons in production. Archons in production. It's probably how they say Archon in some language, right? Archons. Like Spanish, maybe. I've been watching a lot of Narcos. Watching Narcos season, whatever it is, with the Cali cartel after Pablo Escobar is taken care of. So Spanish is in my head a lot, and maybe it's not great, maybe it's offensive, in which case I apologize. But okay, 96 to 51 supply, 3-basing Protoss versus a 2-basing InControl. Again, I think InControl may be the better player. You know what? I would need to investigate their careers a little bit more closely. That might not be fair to say. It might be entirely setting up in range of a cannon, though. Entirely possible that GoOdy is far and away the better player of these two, which I would believe. He is definitely one of the players with the lowest APMs. If we look here, he's at 106 APM. He's Protoss. He's low APM. He's really successful. He's been held up as an example of how you can be successful to a certain level in StarCraft with a low APM like this. And obviously, he's in a great position to win this game. I mean, I'm not going to call it or anything, but it's looking mighty rough for InControl. Oh, man. Is he going to get supply blocked again? He can't do this. All right, the split on the Overlords is great. No supply block. The Corsairs have to get out of there, as there are enough Hydras to cause major problems. Oh, ow. Okay. Oh, just lost a Corsair just because you weren't A-moving there. Lost a Corsair because you weren't A-moving there. All right. Lurker Hydra attack up to the top left. There are 3 High Templar. 2 of them with available Storm. Another one which is very close. They decide to maybe back off as they recognize... I don't know if they knew there were High Templar there. He should have, is what I'm trying to say. Look at this Lurker drop. Again, the dropping is beautiful. I really wish Zerg players did drops in every single match, like long macro match that I ever saw them play. They're just so much scarier with it. But let it not be said, it's an instant win type scenario. So InControl, setting up at this natural base. I'm not even sure killing this would win him the game. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the position he's in here. He's down 115 to 76 total supply. He's got Lurker Hydra, but no Dark Swarm, and GoOdy definitely has Psionic Storm. So, like this, right here. That there is your Psionic Storm. It's just too much. The cannons are too much. The storm is too much. The lurkers are doing some damage here. That poor Zealot. Is he going to make it out? He's alive? He's dead. All right. Yeah, this defense is fantastic by GoOdy. The fact that GoOdy's able to take a 4th base in the bottom left at the same time while all this is happening is exceptionally good. DT's in the mix, but again, the Overlords are here because they have speed and because they have drops, and they're here observing their children as they drop them off at the playground, which I guess a Protoss base would be kind of a playground for Zerg, although somewhat higher chance of dying. Alright, so the natural base goes down for GoOdy. That said, it was effectively mined out. Oh, man. The Dragoon one-shots after the storm hits these lurkers is so good. Do not go in here. Yeah, I mean, even not going in there is probably bad for your health. Staying in the general vicinity of a Protoss army is always bad. All right, man. InControl down 146 to 63 supply. He's supply blocked some more. It's 44 to 29 drones. Hydra's trying to take this high ground. Just kind of scary if you think about it. Focusing down some of these probes. They got the +2 attack. Hydra sneaking around this left side, trying to see if they can take, maybe make some lurkers, or, oh, the storm, though. Yeah, letting lurkers up there is what he's really worried about. The Hydra is not as much of a concern, but lurkers are a big deal. This is a really intense situation right now. Lurkers are morphing in on this high ground. Lurkers are here. I mean, InControl has taken over what was the natural base of GoOdy here. But he has more income. He has more workers. He's got more healthy bases, I feel like. Although, you know what? This natural and this 3rd base and the main base still has some mineral income in it. I don't know. I might say that income is fairly even here. Hydra's dropping in. Having to storm your own mineral line because that's where the Hydras are is such a bad experience. You don't want anything to do with that if you are a Protoss player, but sometimes greater sacrifices must be made. Meanwhile, a DT wanders up to the 3rd base and gets 9 kills for GoOdy. So, and a base, yeah, that's it. That is it. It's 154 to 53 supply. A comeback of this magnitude would be nigh impossible, and that's your good game. Go let's do it, says GoOdy. InControl says you make it, and that is it. At 23 minutes and 5 seconds. GoOdy's able to come out on top. What a fantastic display of just Protoss dominance, holding the early Ling Mutalisk attack, double pumping Corsairs in a situation where I don't think InControl expected that. And then InControl lost his 3rd base. He continued to get supply blocked over and over again. He never got up to Hive Tech in 20 minutes, which is really bad news. Never got any Dark Swarm to speak of whatsoever. And then it was just too many workers to too few workers on the Zerg side of things. Sure, killing the natural base was nice, but couldn't take down the 4th base or the 3rd base in the top left. And these are what powered GoOdy to victory. He got Storm, he got Dragoons. Dragoons are so much better when Dark Swarm doesn't exist. Got a bunch of Zealots in the mix too, just for good measure. They had the +2 attack, which is fantastic all across the board. And GoOdy comes out on top like a boss. Good win. All right, so at the end of the day, 128,000 points for GoOdy, 99,000 for InControl. InControl produced 300 units, but 200 produced by GoOdy. That's not a good ratio if you're Zerg. You want to be double, at least, if you're going to win this thing. Structures raised. 17 Protoss structures raised as a lot, but a lot of Overlords killed, too, as we can see under the Units tab, where 216 Zerg units were killed. Resources at the end of the day. InControl had more gas mined, but way more minerals mined by GoOdy, and a full 7,000 more minerals spent. So he mined 8,000 more and spent a full 7,000 more of it. in the long run. Beautiful, beautiful play by GoOdy. I think I have a couple more games between these players. Let me know if you want to see a rematch between them. I thought the early aggression by InControl was a ton of fun. Thought GoOdy's defense and just aggression with the Corsairs was something to behold too. But other than that, it's going to be it for me. So, this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.